Welcome back to the Real South Africa. If you enjoyed part one, you're really going to enjoy part two. Check it out. It's going to be amazing.
I got to go down to the
No, that
wine.
was the grill
Oh,
house.
no,
That was
was
the
it? It
grill
was a
house.
grill house. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Oh, that's another one. You know, yeah, but it was signatures was really nice. I mean, the band was
Excellent.
playing. The guy was getting back and forth with me on the band because he looking. I'm like, yeah, that's not. And yes, they're playing all the music that
You
you
should
know.
know.
You
Yes.
know,
Yeah, of course.
so don't think that our music is not playing over there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah. Yeah. You can hear me. 1947.
Yeah.
You can hear me? That restaurant in Soweto.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that was nice. The food was good. The just the vibe, right? The ambiance. It was all there. You just slid right in. You fit right in, and it was fantastic. Signature. It was it
Shout
was
out to Herb. Herb was wonderful.
oh our guide.
Herbie
Yeah.
was wonderful. Herbie is a dictionary of knowledge.
But you know what's funny? Like, for example, you say 1947, right?
Mhm.
And we actually cultivated that whole thing some time ago. People was telling us about this, South Africans, a few South Africans. So we went down there. We actually did an interview with the owner, Lele, and so I said, "Look, this is what we need because, to be honest with you, if they would have went down the street to the place where all the other tourists go. That's where you would have been because that's where all the other tourists go. But I
Mhm.
was like, no, Lele, she's doing some great things up the street. That
Mhm.
whole area there, she had a lot to do with
Mhm.
it. She actually, through COVID, she actually basically tore that whole restaurant down and rebuilt it back
Yep.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I know the story very well because she told it directly to me. So for
Wow.
you guys to go there, because her thing was, here you are in Soweto, you in a township, and you should be, in her mind, her people should be able to have a 5-star experience in Soweto. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
when you say the experience and the vibe that you had, I
Oh yeah.
mean, it works. It
Oh
works.
yeah. Oh, it was nice. It was so nice. Um, and again, you just are spoiled that from the time you're moving around, you enter places, we're everywhere. We just everywhere. People enjoying themselves, having a great time, and oh, that is so. You don't want me moving my hands. I talk with my hands.
No,
I
that's
do
right.
too. I do
That's right.
too. It's
Yeah,
fine.
that was that was so refreshing where you just didn't have to go to one little corner of the city to only enjoy that, right? It
Yeah.
was everywhere, everywhere. To go into signatures, and it, it was so nice. Just the setting. This was a two-man band, and they were killing it. It was fantastic. I said if this driver wasn't coming at 10 o'clock, I would stay, right? But I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna follow the rules, right? Because I know that we could have stayed longer, but made arrangements to get ourselves home. But I said, honey, I see a whole nother bottle of wine and 2 more hours hanging out here.
Mhm.
It was very nice. And the food, we had duck, and just the menu we talk about
Yeah, it's massive.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, and your options are so much better than you get here. You just gonna get you some beef, you're gonna get maybe some shrimp, and if you get some lobster, this is the our fine dining here in the States, right? And
Mhm.
I'm looking like, wait, there is ostrich on the menu, and they had the prawns. I'm like, when am I going to have an opportunity to taste ostrich? I have to.
Yeah.
You have oxtails on the menu, you have lamb. It was just the duck, the I was trying to remember, okay, let me make sure I remember all the different choices of meat that are not available over here, or you don't find them just on a regular menu. right?
Mhm.
You don't. And that was nice. And I said, I've been eating meat, just eating meat.
Yeah.
Um, but it didn't feel heavy on you. Are you
Mm.
good? Okay. It doesn't
Oh, yeah,
feel
you're great.
heavy on you. And it was good. It was so good. Everything, and
And
like I said, and
that's
the fact that the customer service adds to it, the environment adds to it, and you just feel so deserving of being treated kindly. Yeah.
yeah, because we don't, because being in the US, you don't get it.
No.
I've been on levels in the US personally, and
Mhm.
you still don't get
Yeah.
what you got here there.
Right.
And I mean, we're not talking about going to Red Lobster. What's that little butter biscuit they got thing? Whatever. I
The
don't know.
Cheddar Bay biscuit.
Yeah,
The
yeah. We're not
It's
talking
like
about
think about them Tide biscuits and
that.
nobody wants them nasty biscuits.
Yeah. So you did mention the food, I would assume.
Yes.
I think you enjoyed it.
So now you
And
understand.
our children loved the food, just all the options that were available. They really enjoyed it as well. Yeah.
Let me just say this comment, because sometimes when we're chatting with people from the US, and no, before they come here, and they ultimately come through and whatnot. And they're one of their things is, I don't know if I can eat the food over there. I don't, do they have vegan options? Do they have this? Do they have that? And they're just, I mean, they're like really like going in
Yeah.
on the food, like, I
Yeah.
don't know, well, it better be good, and whatever they say.
Yeah.
And the whole
Or
time,
they asked me if they have do they have International Delight coffee creamer? No, they don't. But
no,
but they have real coffee here, and I
yeah,
promise you, once you drink coffee here, you'll know.
Yes.
Do you drink coffee?
Yes. Yes.
How was the
Yes.
coffee?
It was delicious.
Yes.
It was
It's
delicious. It is so good. Ah, it is so good. Okay, you can hear me.
uh-oh,
This
yeah,
is um mug and bean. Is that
yeah,
what?
yeah.
yeah.
Right. Hello. Come on, cup of coffee. You just snuggle up like yes, delicious. And I say hands down, it doesn't compare. And I'll say that because I've ordered coffee in from a Caribbean place before, and I was like, nah, that
Hmm.
coffee over there in South Africa, they putting something special in that coffee for
That coffee
sure.
tastes good.
There's some love in there. That's what's
I
in it.
know it.
Yes,
I'm
Yeah,
with you. I'm with
yeah,
you. I'm with
yes.
you.
And I was
I,
trying to make sure I remember certain little things that um are still big because you see you may not get it here. Um,
yeah,
but it'll come along. Like so when you were talking about the food, everything, whatever you want, you vegan, they got you. You're a meat
yeah.
eater, they got you. If you're a combination, they have it. You don't have to worry about food being excessively spicy. That's not you. You want French, you want chips, or we call, our French fries.
Which fries,
You're going
yeah,
to get your chips there. You're going to get all of that, and it's going to be better. It's just going to be better. You don't even know how it's going to be better until you go, and it's going to be better. It
yeah.
just is. Yeah.
But
They I don't think they just throw the food together. They're like here. It's something
well,
different.
they
yeah,
tell you a lot of times, even at 1947, and a lot of the places that we take you guys to eat, they tell you, it's going to take a while because they prepare all their food fresh.
yeah,
Yeah.
So when you say you could have stayed at Signature 2 more hours, you easily could have, because it takes a little bit of time to prepare all of your food to make sure that it's proper. And that's another part of the food experience here in South Africa. It's
Yes.
a very social experience, and that's why when you are eating, you shouldn't feel rushed. We
Yeah.
give you a couple hours because we know for a fact to spend 2 hours in a restaurant in the US is blasphemous. They get you in and out in like 30 minutes. So 2 hours to really consume the food, take in all the atmosphere. Those
Yeah.
are the things that we really want you to experience, because
exactly.
those things don't come. I mean, usually if you go to the US, they're rushing because they need that table. They're
Yeah.
rushing, to leave. And you don't get that here. You can have a reservation at a table, be 2 hours late, and they won't take that table from you. They'll hold it
Really?
for you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And my family knows I'm the slow eater in
Uh-huh.
the
Okay.
family, so I get very annoyed when we go out to eat here in the States because you're rushed. You're always rushed, and I just want to sit. I want to take my time, eat my food. I want to enjoy my family or out with my husband without chop, chop, let's go, out of here, out of here. And so I appreciated that. I could just take little nibbles if that's what I want to do. Enjoy my glass of wine, enjoy the music, enjoy the people. Because that I'm like, because I don't live here yet. So I got to take it all in, right? I got to take it all in. But here, they treat us like a cattle prod. Just come on, yeah, yeah, get on in, shovel this
Yep.
food in your mouth and get out because we need this next table because these people been sitting out in the parking lot or on the bench outside or standing for the past hour. Yeah, there was
Hmm.
none of that. None of that when we went, even when we went out on our own
Yeah.
or when we went to the dinners that you'd arranged for us. And that was so nice. We haven't been to a reservation dinner, a reserved dinner at a dinner time, right? Like dinner is at 6. We're gonna get picked up at 6:30. Oh, okay. Oh, it's like, oh, are we gonna be we're gonna be hungry by then? But it's like a proper time to be getting ready to go out to eat. Now we think about it when we're at home because of course you go through your normal rigmarole of hey, let's be trying to eat, be done, take your baths, all of that. It was just nice to say, oh, this is set aside time for the family to go out and eat together. And I'll tell you, it's been a minute since we've done that and not have to be rushed. And every one of us enjoyed our food, enjoyed the place. I'm just still kind of taking it all in. That's why I said over these past 30 days, you're still picking things apart about remember when that woman told us, don't pour your wine. Don't. Like, don't touch nothing.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
We're going to do that for you. And that was just those little courtesies that you're like, and I didn't get mistreated and it didn't break the bank to just have a really great dining experience. And that, we appreciate. You appreciate it even more when you come back. Um,
Yeah.
because we're like, this is all we got to pick from. Don't nobody want no Chipotle today. That's all we got. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, here we go. Maybe let's go to Chick-fil-A today. That's all we
Oh
got.
my gosh.
That's
It's
how I feel.
But it's funny you mentioned Chick-fil-A because we have a lot of children that eat Chick-fil-A. And the parents are
Parents,
concerned
yeah.
when they come over. They're like, "Do you guys have a
Oh,
Chick-fil-A?" I'm like, "No, but we got better chicken."
You got
And
right.
then they get, my
Hey,
kids
hey,
aren't gonna eat. What you say, Reggie? What you got?
You got Rocco Mama, and you got
You got
what
Rocco.
was the other one? The Firehouse, with the little
fire room.
restaurant we went to the restaurant. It was it was at the Mall of Africa, and it's right on the outside where
oh,
the Ferris
it's a
wheel and all that stuff is.
it's a
Fire room.
Yeah,
Fire
sushi
room,
place.
yes, yeah,
Fire
it's the
room.
fire
Yeah.
room. We went to the fire
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire
Yeah,
room.
we was
Hmm.
there.
Mhm.
Yep, sat out on the
Very nice, huh?
balcony and ate.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Y'all had
But
good
everybody.
weather
but
too.
but think of these lifestyles that are here in South Africa that is available to us. They
Yes,
are
Hmm.
available. These
yes,
lifestyles are available. And I mean, obviously, we've been here over 5 years, and that's not to include the all the visits we did between 2010 and
10.
2017. So we got very comfortable with it. So that's why it was just an easy transition.
yeah,
But you're gonna have to like you guys did come see it for yourself, and then you can start making some real moves because then you're obviously you're motivated now versus just
yes.
yeah, you're motivated. So we tell people all the time, people like, hey, I just want to move. I'm like, look, you need to come see it. And if you see it, and then if you got to sell your house very quickly, or if you have to, whatever you need to do, you're going to do it because you want to get back to these
Yes,
lifestyles,
yes,
you
yes.
know, and
That's
they are readily available.
yeah. And that's the part. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You can hear me okay? That's the part that
Yes.
I think you're going to grapple with when you come back. If it really hit home with you in some way when you go to South Africa, you're going to come back and you're grappling with how do I get there? So some of your clientele who's retired, getting a pension, that for me, my husband and I feel like, oh, it's so easy for them. Like they're just going to be up very quickly because they don't have the concern of how do I keep that money, that US dollar coming in to, but for those that are in the middle, say we got the combination of a couple of kids still in school, we have work that may not be remote. How do you untangle from what you want to,
Easy.
you want to untangle from it because you realize this is not what I wanted. This isn't what I want. How do I untangle from something that I've been I've been around and been inundated with for the past 50, 51, years? How do I detach? Do it. And sometimes you feel like I'm just throwing it all away and I'm getting on the plane and leaving. And I'll figure it out. That's how you feel. That's how we felt a couple of times in these past 30 days. Like, forget it. I see why people pack up and just roll out. Like, I don't want to do all that planning because the planning feels so frustrating in an environment over here that always puts up a barrier. It feels like
Yeah.
every time you're trying to do something for yourself to better yourself, here comes a barrier. Here comes the obstacle you got to jump over. Here comes the setback that financially prevents you from reaching the goal that you're trying to reach. And it feels like, oh, y'all trying to exhaust me because I'm trying to get somewhere. You watched me buy that ticket. You saw my passport for my family of 6 got stamped. And we plotting on something and you trying to keep us from being great. And I'm like, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
They won't let me be great. Why they won't let me be great?
Let me be great. Yes. So it's that like, oh, I see you. And the frustrating part is your wheels are spinning, trying to say, all right, oh, responsibly, 5 years, 10 years sounds like that gives us time to plan and do this and get things in order. And there's a part of you like, I don't want that. I don't need no order. If you look at my track record, remember when we made decisions and we figured it out, right? You still like, I'm trying to get over there before they buy up all the houses, before it gets to before it gets to before they take everything away. You feel like so people gonna come and buy up all the houses and it's gonna be too expensive.
But I will say this to you. I will say this to you. There was a time, like I said, I know we didn't really have anybody to talk to. There was no the real South Africa. It was just
us.
it feels weird because because we see where you guys are and we remind ourselves here we are in 2012. We're in Cape Town. Yeah, we're in Cape Town doing our thing, trying to figure out, do we want to stay in Cape Town? Do we want to stay in Joburg? We had no guidance on that. So we figured all these things out. So when we set things up and kind of show people, it's because we've been through this whole thing.
And we hit a lot of branches that we don't want anybody else to hit.
So I would say, like, if, for example, if I'm mid 50s, right? But I was a time when I was mid 40s, believe it or not. And
I know.
It actually happened. It came and it went. But I will tell you this, building that relationship like you're doing now, like, for example, you had your first taste, and there's so much more. And you keep going back and forth, even if it's only, I'm just making it up, even if it's only once a year. I had to do it at least 2 or 3 times a year. I just couldn't. It get to a point to where you reverse your roles, and the U.S. becomes the place you just go to when you're not here.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so I just went to the U.S. I do what we did what we had to do real
And
quick,
then run.
and then I'm like, okay, I'm out,
Mhm.
and then we look at the planes, the flights, and I
That was the crazy part though. This dude right here, and I'm about to tell his business for a minute.
yeah.
He would be online almost every day looking at flights. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, as soon as I find a flight that's cheap, I'm out.
Yep.
It'll be like Monday. He's like, I found a cheap flight. I'm leaving Thursday. I'm like, you leaving Thursday? He's like, yeah, I'm only going to be gone for 10 days at a time, but I'll be back. I'm stuck in the office, but he can work remotely at this point. So he's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And he would come every chance he got. Every time he found a good flight, he's like, hey, I found another flight. So finally I said, next time you find a flight, I'm going. You're not going to keep leaving me.
Yeah. No, I see what coming as much, but that's how you do it. Eventually the US become the place where you just go to until you can get back. And that's what I was doing. And then we finally wrapped up things. And once we wrapped up things, we was like, what do we literally, because we had a company and we sold it. And we sold it in January. And we was like, what do we do? We came here in June to buy our house. And then we came back, and then once the paperwork was done, everything was done. We came back in September, and every time we have to go back, which is very, very little. I mean, as least as possible. We don't go back. Every time we go back, it's so depressing, because you got to put all that back on, and
you keep it tucked away.
Yeah,
you keep it tucked away.
Yeah.
And when you think about putting it back on, you're like, it's like it gets heavier and heavier, and then and I'm waiting for the moment where I'm going to be like, I'm just not going to go back anymore. I mean, my parents are still there, so eventually I have to, take care of that.
Yeah,
but having to go back, it causes extreme anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, stomach issues, like you name it, headaches. Just at the thought of having to go back, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's not until you have been there. You hear me okay?
Yeah.
You hear me? It's not until your guests have come there that they now understand what they've been hearing people who've gone say, whether they're watching a YouTube or a live. You feel like, oh, I hear them. It may make you feel emotional, but it's not until you've gone that you now are like, I understand exactly why some of your people, your guests from the home show, your real estate tour back in November have been back within a 6-month time frame. Like, they're back because we're over here like, can we come back in December? Can we come? Because to wait another year feels like torture. You want that feeling again. You want that comfort. You want your guard down. So, Mark, I definitely understand why you wanted to go. And as me as a Black woman, talking and seeing my husband, right, as a man, be able to just move and be, I support that. I support that. I feel like he could be there and be appreciated and be seen in a great way, to be constantly acknowledged as he's moving about, and nobody want and nothing from you. You could just, I was like, just the respect. It was so different, and I could sit back there and be like, yes. To say somebody say hello to you, and where here we get so accustomed to passing each other by, and no one saying nothing to you, no one acknowledging you. You're always having your guard up. To see my men be able to be, that was good. Yeah, that was
awesome.
It was really, you don't realize how important it is. So when he's making friends and getting people's WhatsApp numbers, I was just like, now you don't have just one friend no more, right? You can.
I met one guy in the mall. He just walked up, talking about my shirt. And, we exchanged numbers and everything. And he was, like you said, Mark, he was calling me that night. Like, he was calling me by that nighttime. I met the guy that owned one of the clothing stores downstairs in the mall. We went to go get
Mm-hmm.
Daniel a shirt and started talking to the guy that owned that spot down there. And saw him on my way out. He was like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, man." He was like, "Where you going?" I was like, "We can ready to leave." He was like, "Oh, man." Like, yeah.
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 Now,
I love that. I
so the
love
people
that
here,
for him.
say
She
again.
said, I love that
I
for
said
him.
I love that. I love that for him that he had to get that he was able to get that experience, and my older two sons as well as young black men just being
Mhm.
seen, being able to move around and just be that man that and not no one's afraid of you, and you don't
Yeah.
have to always have that armor or guard up. Yeah, you were
Because
saying.
I will say, and like I said, for us, there was a time when we was just thinking about even doing this,
Hmm.
and our plan, because we plan, you know, we wanted people to come and have these types of experiences that you guys are having. Obviously, you're going to go tell other people,
Yeah.
just spread the word and whatnot. And there will be people to follow. And then hopefully one day I think we're starting to see more African Americans coming here in general, because you guys probably saw a bunch of everything else coming here, especially on the planes and stuff like that. Yeah. What?
Her face.
What was that? What's going on? I mean, it's a lot of them coming over here, and
I
Yeah.
we
need.
just
I'm gonna need them to get. I'm gonna need them to get up out my way, right? I need you to get out my way. When we come, and we're
uh-huh.
going to the museum and moving about, it's VIP. VIP, get out the way. You don't need to know nothing. Stop. Get. Why are you here? Let me tell you what I appreciated too. Um,
Okay.
in the safaris, we had the
Hmm.
private, our private transportation for safari.
Of course.
I appreciated that. You can hear me okay? You
Yeah.
can hear me? Okay. I appreciated that so much. Like we didn't have to share,
Hmm.
I'll just say with anybody. I wasn't on a tour bus with anybody, right? I could
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
love that. I was like, come on, the real South Africa. You didn't make me you didn't make me and our family have to put our guard up, get upset because people are behaving a certain way. They don't show an appreciation or respect for South Africa in the way that they should. They really don't.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
they're coming to the circus to see a show. And I was just like, that is not, we are not, look at me, we are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
here for your entertainment. Do you understand
Yeah.
me? We are not, my South African family is not here for your entertainment. Move over out the way and
Hmm.
let the Tansy Moors come on through and see what's going on out in these streets. That's where let's see what's going on out in these streets. That we There were certain things that um, I could see that I said, yeah, we really need to be over here.
We
So
do.
living, supporting each other. It is value in it. It is value, and you don't realize it until you go and touch your feet over there. That you're like, nobody's asking you to the mindset is, oh, we got to go dig a well, and it's always missionary work, and I got to help, and I'm no, no, no.
They don't need our help.
Bring your they don't need your help, okay? When I
Yeah.
saw who was that banana yellow Lamborghini, the Ferrari, and I was like, honey, I'm over here making some very bad decisions in the US because clearly I'm not on my game. I'm like, folks are living their lives and on their game in a way that's why I said I feel like we went backwards, like we're behind. And they
Yeah.
over and our South African friends and family over there, like, y'all need to catch up. You need to catch up in how you living. You need to catch up in how you riding, how you moving about, what you think about yourself. You just need to catch up. Yeah. And I'm here for it. And I need everybody else to get on back to the Netherlands. You going on back to France. You get on back over there to Paris. If that's where you want to be. Get out of my way. That's what I
What
need.
you got, Rich?
Yeah, let her go. Let her go. No. It's different because houses here are built to sticks and cost so much more. Houses there are built of bricks and concrete and cost so much less, you know, and so much better. The neighborhoods are so much better, you know. One thing I need to say.
Yes.
I'm talking to all the viewers and anybody that's thinking about coming with the real South Africa. Listen, when they say proper, it's really proper because I'm going to say that we went to the spa and we had a good old time at the spa, VIP treatments all the way through. The kids, the little ones, they had their little apple juice martinis in their little champagne glasses. The two oldest ones, you couldn't tell them nothing because they was out there laid out in the sun with their glass of champagne, with their shades on. They doing Instagram. I said, y'all the best. And the layout, they laid it out for the spa. They laid it out. They did their thing. You know. So I'm gonna say kudos to y'all for
Thank you.
proper experiences. Yes.
That's what we do.
We didn't even realize we needed that. You know, hear me? Okay. We did not even realize how much we needed that spa because when you travel, you don't think that that's a part of relaxing, or I've seen it and I've only seen other people do it, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That's not something we get to do, you know. And so it was just so wonderful for you guys to. I know it was a part of the package, but there were things that you did. You took care of mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
In a way we didn't expect, you know. And I've done spas before, and the what you set up for us as a couple, honey, you better be glad. We ain't making look.
I know it. I know it.
Number 4, right? We done because honey, that spa experience, it would have caused some trouble.
All right.
You'd have been back come talking about, oh wait, y'all got one more. I'm like, see what happened is y'all messed around.
You won't be the first one. I
Yeah,
promise you
trust
that.
me, yeah.
I got lots of babies made here after that.
Yeah.
But you want to know what's
because we had that one couple that got pregnant.
A couple came here and got pregnant.
Yeah, let me tell the story. It's a great story.
No, let me tell the spa thing.
Okay,
first.
go for it.
The reason why we put the spa in our packages is simply because we know where you're coming from and I know where you're going back to. So after you've had all this emotional roller coaster, I'm like, let me see if I can put them at least back to center for just a second, give them a proper South African spa, especially if they're a married couple. Let them figure out what it is they need to do when they get back. Let them have that time. The kids, they can have their own experience, but let me see what I can do for them. So we picked those packages specifically based on who we have coming. So obviously I know which one you guys got. And I picked that specifically for you too. And the boys, I picked something different. So I had it all, properly planned out because I'm like, I know what you're going back to.
Yeah.
So we do put a lot of thought into what we do. So thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate it.
It was beyond our expectations, and we appreciate that. We really
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Now you can tell the pregnancy story.
Well, first of all, was there any? I guess there were. Like in the States, you have mostly Asian women doing your spa, right? In the States.
Yeah, or our European counterparts, the Caucasus folk. Yeah.
But I think here you had black women doing your.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Okay, so there was one. Okay, let me say this. There was one, and I said, um, you'll do me, you'll get
Mhm.
my massage. You don't, you don't,
Don't touch my husband.
no.
Let her finish.
I told him, I
Let her
said,
finish.
you see the black lady? That's who doing you.
Yeah.
This one here, she'll take care of me. That's
Hmm.
that. And our kids, even our sons, appreciated. They all had the South African, black women, and they were excited about that. Especially our sons. They were just like, yeah, let them fight over us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they enjoyed that. But you're right here, Mark. When I go, and I've gone to a number of different spas, which is why I can say that experience was top. Oh my God, it exceeded my expectations, and I dropped some money to go to some different spas here,
Yeah.
and it you're not going to get that. You're just not going to get that without breaking several banks, and you're
Yeah.
right. You're either going to have an Asian woman. I was hoping I was getting a pedicure when I went there and a manicure, but because I did want, an African woman to be able to tend to me. But that's okay. I said, oh, it wasn't in our package because you gave us some more stuff, and I was cool with that. But I just said I'll come back home and do my feet like I've been doing because I just do it myself. Cause I'll wait till I go back. In the meantime, I'm over here scraping and scrubbing on my own because I can't do it.
She said they can't get no
Yeah.
more of my money. I do it myself.
No, no.
Yeah.
And you don't support us. You don't support our communities. You don't support us. You don't. No, I'm not doing that no more. No.
Yeah. Because the good part about it is what I like about it is the fact that these young ladies, they come to work, they do a great job. A lot of times we tip them, they get good tips and
Yeah.
what, and of course, obviously they're getting their paychecks, but the tips are really, really helping. For some odd reason, Americans tend to tip a little bit more because we're
Mhm.
used to paying more. And
Yes.
then, they take that money back to, back to their, back to where they come
Oh
from.
yeah.
They take it back home, being able to put, shoes on kids' feet and things like that. So it really matters, and that's why, like, well, so many tourists that we bring, like, for example, like, even just the real estate tour, and that was just one thing that we did. I mean, that was millions of rands
Yeah.
put into the community, and it worked just
Yeah.
from the real estate people coming, and it's still bearing fruit, and that's just that. I'm not talking about all the other stuff, but going back to the couple that came here, they were trying to get pregnant. I remember them talking about, oh yeah, we've been trying to get pregnant, but they've been stressing. I think she said it was due to stress, and
Yeah.
and they had been stressing about everything. I guess because he was a contractor for the government, and then I forgot what she did, and but they came here, they relaxed.
And they were planning to come back,
Yeah.
but
Oh
then
yeah, they was planning to come back, and then he sends me a message says, yeah, we were planning on coming back, but she's pregnant, and I'm like, what happened?
what do you mean what happened? You know what happened.
I said, hey man, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. So it was, yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly
And
what
that's
happened.
my treatment. That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
that's all.
they give you some alone time. And you're like, oh, okay. All right, you want me to rub this mud on you? Well,
I
Yeah,
love
but
it.
it seems like you guys had a really good time.
yeah,
Of course, there's more times to be had, and as you hopefully, my goal is to want people to build their relationship with South Africa, and have that as that thing in your back pocket that
yeah,
you can go to at any time. You're comfortable. A lot of our repeat offenders, they're comfortable with being in South Africa.
Mhm.
They're so
okay,
comfortable, and they're discovering things. They're doing things on their own, and they're doing the most. And so that's really, what our plan, really was, is to introduce South Africa into our lexicon, because unfortunately we don't get that stuff funneled down to us where we are, in the Midwest or on the East Coast. We never hear about South Africa
right,
unless it's something bad. But we
yeah,
know there's a lot more going on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. We don't. And coming back and sharing our experience with friends and family.
Mhm.
It's been fun, especially for those who it was fun for those who were receptive. You
Yeah.
know, it's always fun because it's like they can't get enough of what you're sharing. They love your pictures, they didn't know, and it gives them something to think about, and they're like, who did you go to? I actually gave your information to two of my doctors,
Mhm.
and told them about it, and they just were like, I didn't know. I didn't know. And I'm like, then they said, I need to go on vacation there. And I'm thinking, but you're a doctor, right? You're like, don't you know?
Yeah.
No, why I don't know. Why don't you know? And they don't. Even one, I was saying that I was telling her, no, you don't need any shots. You just get your passport. And she's like, what do you mean you don't need any shots? Like, you don't need any shots. What are you
Mm-mm.
talking about? You don't need any shots. And when I said that, she was like, "Yeah, make sure you give me that information because I'm gonna need to look into that." To hear someone speak and be so excited and share um, some of the things that we know they don't think they're going to hear.
Mhm.
What is a Benz dealership doing there, or
Yeah.
why does that food look like that, and what the homes like? Homes look like that? Yeah, it could, because it's really not what you think.
You better stop making people mad.
Look, we went to the movies too. Let me tell you how we was all up and through them parts. Yes, ma'am. We went. I was like, these movies back here are raggedy. And you think
Yes.
you live in a
Yes.
nice neighborhood. And I'm like, no, no, you don't. You live mediocre. You don't live well. They live well. I was like, we are breaking our necks trying to live below average over here, thinking we are doing the most. I'm like, nah, they doing the most. They doing the most. And I'm doing something wrong. And I need to get over there so I can figure it out.
Because I'm gonna need.
Tell them about.
I need my house to have a boy quarters.
No, not boy
It's
quarters.
it's it's, it's
You
the
talking
help
about
quarters.
it's the help.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Oh, you want your house to have a domestic quarters?
There you
domestic
go.
quarters.
Domestic
Yeah.
quarters. There you go.
Yeah. But he wants a house so big that he's gonna make sure he's employing half of South Africa, right?
Right? We welcome that.
Yeah. Well, cool.
We're gonna
So,
say
Well,
something, Mark. You were gonna
what
say
movie
well,
did you see?
yeah, yeah. What's up with this
something?
movie place?
I took the kids and we
Because it
went.
was so expensive, right? It was super expensive, right?
No, no. Okay, so Richard and our twins went to go see John Wick 3. And
Okay.
then
4.
it's 4. Is it 4?
Yeah.
4.
It was 4 now.
John
Yeah.
Wick. John Wick 4. Okay. And
Yeah.
then I took my youngest two, we went to go see the Mario Brothers movie that
Oh
just came
yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
we went to see that. So uh, it was the theater is so nice. The seats, you I can't
Yeah.
even explain it. It's ghetto over here. It's
Yeah.
so it's so raggedy over here. You don't even realize it. The way you order, we standing in line,
No, you gotta go
waiting to
order.
order. You Mark, you go get to. He was like, "What's your number? What number?" We came to order. No, you order over there at the kiosk. Oh, okay. Technology. Our one son had already ordered his stuff on the phone, on the app.
Yeah, you
Like
can do it on the app. Yeah.
And then they just walked
you're still standing in the line over here. You still,
Yeah. Nah, that's how, like, when we go to the movie theaters, if we know we're going to a particular movie, Tasha, she goes to the app, orders our popcorn, orders everything that we need.
yeah.
Then we just walk in and scan it, and then they
in.
hand it to
There it
us.
is. Then
Yeah.
you have your big lazy boy seats with the corner and the big that
He's debating on whether or not he should finish watching the movie or go to sleep because the chair was so comfortable and so big.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
happened plenty of times before. You
Mhm.
get
Yes.
you're like, you know what? I think I fell asleep because it's that comfortable. I'm with you.
Well, and I will tell you this: that's the regular movie theater. Because if you, well, that's the regular. because you can go to the what's that called, the prestige level. Yeah, you go to prestige. I go to prestige. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't mess around. I go to prestige level. You go up there. You pay a little bit more, but it's not much more.
Not
Yeah,
much.
You're definitely in a couch. So me and Tasha can sit on the couch. You order your food,
And they bring it
and
to
then
you.
while you're sitting there, they will bring you your
yeah,
latte. They will bring you your
Coffee,
yeah.
Danish,
I'm talking about and real
sandwiches,
yeah.
food.
Real food.
meat
Okay.
and ribs, sandwiches.
Yeah,
They'll bring it to you
Yeah.
out.
yeah. Why the movie's
So
playing?
here they may have one or two places some trying to be like that where you do
Mhm.
dinner and a movie and they'll bring your stuff, but
This
they're
is
out. They're away and they're you know where they are. You know what neighborhoods they're in,
Yeah,
right? And
you're in the
you
hood.
if you yeah, you're in the European hood. Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And when you get there, then you still have your guard up because you're wondering, how am I going to be treated? Right? You always got to be worrying about to go experience something quote unquote nice here in the States. How am I going to be treated? Who's going to be looking crazy at me? What, what, all of that. There, you just get in, do your thing. Nobody's because you're in the majority. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
You get
matters.
and it matters and you get to enjoy so many nice things that again it's overwhelming because you didn't realize you deserved it you
Thank
know
you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things the real South Africa. Thanks again.